In this video, I'm going to share with you how I lost over 70 pounds on my little 5'2" frame. So if that is of interest to you, then please stay tuned because that's all coming up next. Welcome back, my friends. Hey, I'm really excited to share this video with you today. As I said in my intro, I am at last, by popular request, going to share with you my weight loss journey. So I've now lost, over the last 2.5 years or so, over 70 pounds. So I'm not sharing with you some rapid overnight success story, right? Because rapid results, I've gotten those before, and they're often lost as quickly or quicker than they were gained. So, you know, what finally gave me success in this journey was taking the mindset of a long-term approach, of a lifestyle change approach, of wanting long-term success, not instant gratification. What I'm gonna do is you're gonna see some fun photos pop up throughout the course of this video of pictures of me, you know, when I was younger and what I looked like, as well as along my weight loss journey at my heaviest, and then as I began to lose weight. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take you to the very beginning, because that's where it starts for all of us, right? Going back to our childhood, to our homes. What was the culture in our home? What things did we learn? What kind of, how did our families celebrate? What was the relationship to food in the home? Because that's what it's all about, guys, is your relationship, my relationship, all of our relationship to food. What does it mean for you? What does it do for you? How do you use it? How do you enjoy it, right? So, when I was a very young girl, my family's culture was one of celebration. We loved to just have fun and celebrate. Holidays were big buffets, and my mom's an excellent baker, so she was always making delicious goodies. It was so great. All of my friends loved to come home with me from school, because there's my mom, you know, even though she'd worked a full day, she's still in the kitchen and she's baking some brownies or some chocolate chip cookies or something like that. So I grew up with food definitely being a means of celebration. And I also learned to use food as a means of like a coping skill, right? To make me feel better. If we'd had a bad day, it was, oh, you know, out of love, of course, let's go get some ice cream. Things like that. And so I just learned from a young age, even though I didn't struggle with my weight or struggle with food addictions at that time, that's when the relationship began, that food was anything other than a true source of nourishment and strength and means to, you know, keep my body healthy. It was actually a means for celebration, for coping, just if you're sad, happy, mad, angry, celebrate, mourn, food was the solution. Now, moving along, because as you can see in some of these pictures, I was not an overweight child. There are some people who deal with weight issues and struggles their whole life. I was not one of them. I was always very petite. And then at age 17, I joined the U.S. Army, and I was in the shape of my life. Holy cow. You know, I was lean and I was muscular. I think when I was in basic training, I put on a good 15 to 20 pounds of solid muscle in like 3 months, which is insane for a girl. But you know, something else you have to consider too, guys, is your body type. So I happen to be the body type of a mesomorph, which does allow me to gain or lose weight with ease, as long as I'm applying myself and applying dedication, and I can also put on muscle very easily. So please, even when listening to my story or looking at anyone's story or their result photos and things like that, do not let yourself get discouraged because you're looking at them and comparing yourself. Don't compare yourself to anyone, because your body is so different than my body and everyone else's, and we're all beautiful, and our bodies were given to us as a gift, and they function and move and create and grow the way that they were intended to. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it's all about learning to work smarter, not harder, to work with your body, to work with your genetics, all these things, instead of fighting it or feeling bad about yourself. So I just had to throw that out there. All right, now, when I came back from the military, for many years throughout my teenage years and getting into my early 20s, due to a lot of emotional issues and a lot of other struggles and some traumas that I had experienced, I began from a young age learning to cope with my emotions and with my problems through addictive behaviors. Now at this time, that hadn't manifested as food yet. It manifested in all the other types of, substances and things you can think of that someone uses to escape with. So that's what I dealt with. Well, then guess what? When I came home from the military and I got pregnant at a young age at 20 years old, even though I was in the emotional state that I was in, I took my pregnancy very seriously, and I was very grateful for that child and for the gift of life. And so immediately I stopped all other, uses and behaviors that would have been harmful to a child. But I didn't deal with the emotions. I didn't deal with the underlying sources that pushed me towards those behaviors. So what happened? I was pregnant and single and sad, and I learned to use food to cope, because when you're pregnant, you can eat all day, right? Ultimately, that's different than, say, drinking or using other harmful substances. So, yeah, that's what happened. I traded my Friday nights out on the town for a Friday night at home watching Lifetime, eating an entire Little Caesars pizza and a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, and also a side of breadsticks. And eating it all by myself. I was in pregnancy, one of those not so much eat weird things, but ritualistic eating. So I had my thing, every Friday night was my Little Caesars pizza, and there was a certain day of the week that said I went and got a rack of ribs and a side of mashed potatoes every single week. And every morning for breakfast I ate donuts and chocolate covered donuts and a can of pineapple. I know it's horrific. If I was pregnant again today, that is not the diet that I would consume. But I was sad, you guys. I was sad. I was really sad, and I didn't know how else to deal with it, so I ate myself happy. I also ate myself 80 pounds heavier. Over the course of my pregnancy, I gained about 80 pounds. And so while I went into the pregnancy weighing only 110 pounds, I came out weighing, over 170. It was I think I was nearing 180 at the time of my delivery. So after that, that's when the yo-yo began. Here it was, I was 21 years old. I should be fit and thin and feeling good about myself, right? Especially if I'm single. I should have been out on the town and dating and having a good time. But instead, I was extremely insecure about my body and just all the changes that had happened. Stretch marks and rolls and things hanging where they didn't used to. And so my self-esteem got worse, and then once again I was sad, and I just used food as a coping skill. So then the yo-yo began, right? But what was wrong was that I didn't choose to approach the weight loss in a healthy way, or in a way that was good for me and my mind and my body, right? So I began this yo-yo cycle of obsession and deprivation and binge eating. So basically, this was my life for a good decade, right? I love to work out. I'm very athletic. I love to move. Even at 200 pounds, I would get out there and bust my buns working out. But it was all for naught if I turned around and the very next day I was hitting up the local burrito shop and picking up some ice cream on the way home. And so this was my cycle, whereas I wouldn't just work out and get active and be moving. I would obsessively work out, go to the gym every single day, and long workouts and just really extreme workouts. And then what would happen, and I would be essentially depriving myself. I was eating maybe 1,200 or less calories a day, which is that is what you'll find recommended in a lot of places. I'm sorry, guys. I am not a happy person on 1,200 calories a day. It's not enough. If you are talking about wanting to get in enough natural fats and proteins and carbohydrates and things that make you function and make you feel good, you're not going to do it very often on only 1,200 calories a day if especially you're like a 200-pound person. Maybe if you're at like 115 pounds or something, but no, starting out, me at over 200 pounds trying to survive on like 9 to 1,200 calories a day, it's not good for mental health. It's not good for your energy levels, for your sleep cycles, nothing. So what happened is that I would just be going so many days of feeling deprived that then ultimately my body would just freak out, and naturally and rightfully so. So next thing you know it, I'd have a stressful day, right? Something that would cause a trigger, and I would come home and binge to like no end. I mean, I could sit and in 30 minutes consume 3 days worth of calories. And then what do you think happened? You think I felt very good about myself? No. I felt horrible. I felt disgusting. I was just so disgusted with myself. And then it would feed the cycle of, you're so bad, and why did you do that, and you have no control, you're so weak. And no, I wasn't weak and out of control. My body was starving. So it went into protection mode and made sure I got enough food to last me the next week. I was going to starve myself. So then essentially, I would say, okay, well, and I'm just, I'd punish myself. I'm not going to eat anything for the next 24 hours, and I'm going to work out a whole bunch, or I'm going to do some crazy fast or cleanse, or, these really unhealthy things, and the cycle would start all over. And this was just my life, a cycle of deprivation, obsession, extreme, binge, punishment, and like over and over and over. I don't know about you, but I can't live like that. I mean, I was weighing myself every day. Literally what the scale said when I got on it in the morning would dictate how my day went. If I got on the scale and I thought I had been working so hard and I had only lost, a pound, or I'd lost nothing at all, I would get so frustrated. That could literally ruin my day. And then what do you think I would do as a result of that? Head out and binge eat, right? When it's later in the day, then it's just, I haven't lost anything anyways. It's all out the window anyways. It's these like cycles, these patterns, how we talk to ourselves and how we think that really, really holds us back. And this is something that I work on a lot with my health coaching clients, because it's, quick results, rapid results, the magic pill solution. It's not what I found to work in my own life. And it's not what I believe will work for anyone else either, at least not long term. So after this, just years and years of this, and then dealing with my mental health, which was suffering, and high anxiety, and, coping and using, drinking wine or things to, compensate for the pain that I was feeling and the unhappiness and hiding behind this. And ultimately I got to a point actually where I gave up. And I began to just say, I'm just a curvy girl, I'm going to own it, right? Like I went so the other extreme that I was like, I love myself. I'm going to take pride in myself, and I'm just going to be a curvy girl. And I guess that's just the way I'm going to be the rest of my life. And people can take it or leave it. That was a sham, guys. That was a sham. I could have convinced myself till I was blue in the face that I was cool with being over 200 pounds on my little 5'2" self. I wasn't. I did love myself. I was proud of myself. In pretty much most other areas of my life, I felt like I was a rock star. But that didn't mean that my body was meant to carry all that weight. That didn't mean that was who I was meant to be, to express myself as a person in this world, right? And when I began to let go of basically my falsifying statements, the things that I was saying to myself to just kind of justify, rationalize, and feel better, when I began to let that go and really get honest with myself, that's not the person that I wanted to be. That's not what I wanted to look like. And not because I wanted to be some supermodel or because I wanted to impress other people or that I wanted a man or, my husband already married me at that point. He fell in love with me at over 200 pounds because he loved my heart. And I thank my maker for that every day, that I found a man who would love me for me. But so I really, I was decided for myself, it wasn't for any outside exterior reasons, but I just realized I want to be on the outside what I feel on the inside. And when I think of myself on the inside, I don't think of myself as a plus size woman, right? I picture myself thin and fit and frolicking through the field with goats and chickens. So anyway, right. So I just made the conscious decision. Here's a picture of what I looked like in the holiday season of 2015. That's when my true weight loss journey began. When I committed myself to change. And I said, Rachel, I love you more than anything. And I looked, honestly, guys, I stood in front of the mirror, nothing on, and I looked at myself for a good 30 minutes. I just sat there and stared, and I looked at the curves and the lines and the dimples and the rolls and all the things, the stretch marks from having had a child, all these things. I looked at it, not with judgment like I normally did, but just neutrality, just looking at my body. What am I working with here? And I said, what, it's okay. This is not who we want to be, and that's okay. And we get to choose who we're going to be every moment, every day. So I said, thank you, body, for getting me through some of the roughest years of my life. And I know I've put you through a lot of abuse and a lot of use, and now you're suffering the results of it. But I love you, and it's time for change, and we can do better. And I committed that no matter what, it didn't matter how long it took, how hard it was, that I would change how I talked to myself, how I looked at myself, my daily routines. I stopped weighing myself every day, and I stopped counting calories. I stopped depriving myself, right? Or completely ruling out certain foods. I just learned to make smarter choices and learn to eat intuitively. So I ate until I was full. I only ate when I was hungry, and then I ate till I was full, and I stopped. And when I wanted dessert, I had dessert. But I started experimenting with raw vegan desserts and stuff like that, right? Because they are so jam-packed with nutrients and protein, and that I would actually feel energized after I ate a dessert rather than feeling like I wanted to pass out and unbutton my pants. I'm disgusted with myself, but I still got that sugar fix. And so I just learned to find healthy substitutions, and every day, there was days that were bad, or even weeks that were bad, or even months that were bad. But because I had truly, officially committed to myself, I was going to do this, nothing stopped me. So if you look at a chart of my weight loss, you'll see that it doesn't look like this, right? It's not some rapid 4-month immediate instant results. It's like this. But over the course of the 2.5 years, it has steadily gone down, and that's the goal. But there has been lots of peaks and valleys. So with that being said, I really feel like that's what changed for me. And that is what I so promote when working with my health coaching clients, and really especially just women. We're fed so much garbage in society about our bodies, about weight loss, about diet and nutrition, and our self-esteem, and what should and shouldn't be. And you are your best judge, right? Now, you have to take into consideration if you're taking any medications, if you're pregnant, if you have any other health conditions. So it's so important always, especially if you have anything that's unique or special for you that's challenging, getting with a nutritionist, getting with your doctor, and also getting with someone like me, a health coach, who can just help you know what's going to be safe and right for you, and then within those parameters, begin making healthy lifestyle changes every single day that make it fun and enjoyable and sustainable, and not like dreading going to the gym or hating your life every day because you're like a calorie monster and getting barely enough to eat. Basically, it was a long road, you know? But now I love it, and my journey's still not done. So I do have a lot of plans for myself. Now that I've lost a lot of the body fat, I still want to lose some body fat, but I really want to work on bulking up my muscle and really being just very, very fit and healthy and feeling very good in my own skin. But I can tell you that along the journey, some of the things that I learned and was shocked by was that definitely something that was critical and essential to my ability to lose weight was the letting go of trauma. Really did a number on me, and it wasn't until probably halfway through my weight loss journey that I really had the aha, that I realized the reason I hadn't been, a big reason why I hadn't been successful in the past at losing weight and keeping it off, was the fact that I was still holding on to that trauma, and subconsciously there was a part of me that was scared to actually lose weight again and to be thin and pretty. And so, because in the past all that had done was brought me pain and sorrow. So that was a biggie. And then also just, you know, learning to love myself and be kind to myself and approach myself with curiosity rather than criticism. And then making just daily efforts, and also, you know, it's just not letting things derail me, and finding healthier ways to deal with stress. That's the biggest one for a lot of people, is stress management. So this was my journey, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, I would like to start doing a series of videos for you and do videos on healthy substitutions and binge eating and exercise and routines and structure and healthy recipes, all these kinds of things. I would, if there's any specific weight loss topics that you're interested in, about, you know, maybe things that I did or incorporated, because once again, I used no trainer, no gym, no calorie counting, nothing extreme. I didn't cut anything out. I had dessert almost every day. Life was pretty awesome. So yeah, if you're interested in any of those specific topics or want some help or tips on any of those things, please let me know in the comments below. If you're interested in embarking on a journey to not just look good in a bikini, but to literally change your life, guys, because that's what it is. The way we do one thing is the way we do everything. And if you want to embark on a journey and weight loss is part of that for you, or other types of addictive behaviors, please head on over to my website, www.spendsmartlivehappy.com, and get in touch with me to let me know what you're looking to work on and see if we're a good fit for me to help you make those changes. All right. Thanks for watching. Much love. As always, I'll catch you next time.